recording.
Is he gonna be part of the...
Yes. Mic check one. Look at this light. What the I feel like I feel like I shouldn't be in this episode. You look like a TV show host. Who the you think you are? Oh my god! Look at this.
I think we should start coordinating outfits. I think that'd be fun.
I think we should get in a studio, first of all.
Okay, that would be fun too, but... Oh, you know what's missing? You can't hold that there while he... Dude, he's literally staring.
Who? Who's staring?
Look at his little, like...
New character!
A little corner.
Noah! New character.
So cute.
Noah, say hello. Welcome to the Energy and Heart podcast, hosted by Jiggy and Steph, featuring Noah.
I like how you freaking abandoned
Are we
the
recording?
pearl. You literally abandoned the pearl for Noah, so I'm gonna...
Wasn't that the practice?
I'm gonna
That
go.
was the practice.
I'm gonna go
That was
back,
the
though.
practice.
Okay.
You can't play with this. You must sit. Please, thank you. That's not a toy either. No thanks. Noah, sit. You have to behave. Noah's back.
Yes. After
First of all,
yeah.
I'm sorry. What is the occasion?
I went to visit my parents. Dude, no, my dad commented on stuff that I was wearing before, so I try to be more conservative when I visit him.
What did you wear before? A t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, I just wore...
Or tank
You've seen me
shorts.
wear... I mean, it's he's just very conservative, and my mom was like, it's kind of a lot. I was like, okay, I'll just wear something more conservative next time. So I did.
So this is conservative?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what she looks like when she visits her parents. Imagine what she looks
Well,
like when
I
she's
went
visiting
to-
Kato. Haven't seen you in a few days.
It felt like actually a really long time.
It felt like forever.
It felt like a while, actually.
Not like we have like separation anxiety or anything.
No, we definitely don't. What the fuck is that?
So how was your weekend? What'd you do? Steph is in resting bitch mode right now. Not a resting bitch face, but resting bitch mode. How is that going?
Well, we ended launch for RBTL last week. Like,
Yay!
we wrapped up. We have a new group of students coming in.
Dude,
Dude, you're gonna love them.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
facilitating? Dun dun dun.
Do you want to facilitate?
The f-
Yeah.
Are we having this conversation right here, right now?
Yeah. This is called No Assumptions, okay? So, like, this is... Yeah.
Let's circle back. This
Oh, that one doesn't have sound,
Is-
so we're good.
coffee
Vicky's
by Vicky.
Bitty Coffee.
It's called Bitty Coffee. Bitty Coffee by Vicky. It's very strong. Lovely. I need it right now.
I feel like you're gonna be awake all night.
I hope so. I need it. Anyways, so yeah, how was your weekend? What'd you do?
Like, it was... I actually, like, I'm kind of seriously not sure what the hell... Oh, what am I saying, dude? Saturday was Rosalie's engagement.
Oh!
My God. What the fuck?
Rosalie!
Like, I know I did something on Saturday. It was huge. I was like there the whole day. Yeah, okay. Like, let's talk about this. Like, I went to the engagement, and so Kris proposed to Rosalie. Oh my God, dude. Like, they told us to be there at 1, and I was arriving at 1:10, and so I called.
I'm having deja vu from a few episodes ago of you being in Chicago.
I know, like, so like I called Wenmar, like my best friend from college, and he's like, dude, like, you gotta park at the end of the street, so it's not like, it doesn't look like all the cars are in front of the house. Like, it's gonna be like a 5-minute walk, but like if you run it, you can get there in 3. And
Noah. Thank you. Good boy. Good boy. I love you. Okay.
But yeah, so arrived at like 1:15, literally ran to the house to find that they were like gonna be 15 minutes like late, so I made it just in time. And yeah, like Kris and Rosalie walk in. So all of us are there, like his family, her family, their friends, their coworkers.
Is this where the proposal's happening, or is this an engagement
No, this
party?
is an engagement party.
Oh, so it already happened?
Proposal already happened beforehand. But, you know, Mart, which is like one of our friends who got married like last year, and is like one of Kris and Rosie's best friends, was DJing, and so he was like, we're gonna turn on this exact music like when they walk in, and once they walk in, he's gonna like twirl her, and then we're gonna do like a surprise thing. I was like, dude, this is just like so fucking cute, like so experience design, like all of it. So they walk in, and like I think she like knew her family was gonna be there, but I think she didn't know like all the other people were gonna be there. So I think she saw her like parents first. They gave her a hug, and then she started crying. And then Ida came over. Ida is Mart's wife. Ida came over with a bouquet. She like cried some more, and that's when I started crying. I was just like, dude, I can't. Like, I think you like you know, you hang out with your friends over time, but I think it's like a very meaningful thing to have like a day like dedicated to like their love, you know. And so like I was just like, dude, this is so sweet, and like, you know, getting to get a sense of like who are the important people like in their life, and because, you know, like you can't have everyone there, like it's just the closest people. And so I think it was meaningful to me to be like one of those people like for her, and just to see like their family dynamics, like their families like get along really well. And so it just made me think a lot also about like, oh, like what are kind of the family dynamics like I would want to have. And so it was really beautiful. Kris's sister's house, like freaking ginormous pool, like so beautiful, like on the outside. And yeah, we just like hung out and drank and partied and played pool and played in the pool and all of that. It was beautiful. I just can't, like, I love love. Like, it's,
yeah, bitch, we love here.
Like, yeah, just seeing like how much effort like Mart and Ida put into the party planning. So they actually like created a party planning like business because they like love it so much.
Oh.
Yeah, so like Ida learned how to bartend like through just like all the events that she was doing like with Mart and stuff. And like they did all the decorations for their wedding too. And so they have more of like a tropical like style.
I think I've seen their Instagram page because Rosalie posted
yeah. But yeah, they have like really good taste. Really good taste in music too.
Michael, was the outfits coordinated? Because I noticed all of you had the same.
Yeah, so like when Kris knew, like when Kris like told us, he was just like, okay, we're probably gonna wear cream, like we're gonna wear like white cream, so like everyone else wear like nudes. So I literally had to go out and like find a dress. I almost didn't go find a dress but then I was like, dude, it's Rosalie. Like with Rosalie, like you have to look hot. Like that's just like a given. Like that's like I told her this too. Like that's just like part of like just her vibe. Like she like loves like really nice photos, like really nice, like nicely dressed, like her and her girlfriends, like kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, I have to look hot.
You know what?
Like,
You're right. To, like, when I saw pictures, I was like, damn, all of our friends are hot.
Yeah. That's like that was like the protocol. Like you just have to like
the protocol.
Good, you know.
Bitches look hot.
Yeah, basically. And what she said to me? We were like towards it was towards the end of the night, and she's like, Steph, you're so hot, but you just like don't know that you're hot. And I was like, oh. And she's like, I feel like part of my purpose in life is to let people who are hot know that they're hot. Like I know I'm hot, like, you know. And I was like, I know you know you're hot, but she was telling me, but she's like, you don't know you're hot, and like, you know, like that adds to like who you are, you know. But like I want you to know that you're hot. I was like, oh, thanks.
Is this what we're gonna talk about today?
We should cut this part out.
Self-image? Are we hot?
Oh, self-image is actually a good topic.
God damn it! It's just gonna remind me of the weekend.
Oh, okay.
She showed me her Pinterest board of her like wedding theme before.
Yeah.
The engagement party seems to be very her because the color theme. Yeah, it's very her.
Yeah, it's very Rosalie. Yeah, which I love because it's just like. Like,
it's like for her.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But I was just like, dude, if this is like the engagement, I just wonder what the hell the wedding's gonna be like, because it's I think it's gonna be in the Philippines. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She did tell me that. Yeah.
About like engagement.
Not me thinking, like, I saw the photos of, like, Rosalie's engagement party and stuff, and then I saw their photo, like, together standing next to each other, and I don't know why all of a sudden that, like, took me on a journey of, like, the day that you get engaged, and I just, like, what the fuck was that? I don't know what that was, but, man, I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna fucking, like, cry my eyes out. I'm gonna cry my eyes out the day that I hear, not to put pressure on Kato, but whoever is gonna do it, the day that they sit me down and tell me, I'm gonna propose. The day that I'm told that I'm gonna fucking cry, I'm gonna lose it. And they keep me there. I can sing it right now. Oh my god, I can't cry again. I cried the last episode.
Oh, Noah came over. It's like she's crying.
Oh my god, I just get so happy for people. I love love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my shit the day that comes, and then the day that, wow, you get engaged. The engagement party's over. It's gonna be over. God damn. God, what the fuck? I'm crying again.
I think you're like more excited than I am about it.
I probably am.
It like makes me extra excited. It's giving me permission to get excited.
I'm already like thinking about like what dress are you gonna wear? Do you want shoulders? Do you want how long is the train? Do you like what's your hair gonna look like? Like what's your walking down the aisle song? Like so much to go over. We gotta start planning now.
Immediately starts Pinterest page after this.
I mean, Say Yes to the Dress is like one of my favorite shows. The fucking thing me and Rosalie were talking about. We were talking about weddings and wedding dresses and how she's gonna do her hair.
Oh my god, I love that. That's so Rosalie too. I love Rosalie. She's like my little sister.
Yeah. Well, congrats to Rosalie.
Yes. Yeah, but that's what happened Saturday. I don't know why the hell I like blanked. I blanked because like I just had so much fun that day. It was so cool. Then I picked up Noah at night, and then Sunday.
What a great day!
It was really chill. I went to the gym. I like gymmed in my freaking living room, or I lifted, and then had a conversation actually with Kato, about like spending more time together and stuff like that. So, I'm going on a trip to NorCal this week, so I decided to take that time. And then when I saw my parents today, it was really sweet. Like, I was chatting about everything. My mom obviously asked, like, about RBTL, how's the business, how you're doing, and then at the end, before I left, she's like, oh, like, how about you and Kato? Like, how are you guys doing? I was like, yeah, we're good. And then she's like, okay, good. I was like, oh, yeah. She's like, I could tell she's like very relaxed when I talk about him, which is like, I think she just like trusts him a lot.
Yo, she probably like read some shit on the card. Like she probably knows some shit.
I think the like the zodiac signs and stuff like do like match. Yeah. If you look at my co-star too, like the stars like align completely actually. It literally has like the most compatibility out of like so the stars tell me that it works too.
Oh, is that your new bottle from Kato?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I sacrificed the bottle when I was in Chicago. I don't know if I talked about that, but yeah.
Not on the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that Steph and I are metal elements, and that we are the kind of metal that are like swords.
Very strong, like
and apparently all we do is cut and like cut bitches off, and like we don't vibe with you, we just cut you off. What we do is just cut, and that's direct quote from her dad. Her dad. I was like, that's true.
She's kind of down for it. This is like talking about like the zodiac signs, and elements. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
Let us pray.
I will.
The weekend was an experience that I didn't expect it to be. The reason why I had this last minute trip up to NorCal was to take care of a friend who was having a surgery, and her family from Florida couldn't make it last minute, so it was like an emergency thing where I just had to go last minute for her. And I like took her to the surgery, took care of her since, and like every 4 hours, just making sure she's taking her meds. Every hour, change the ice pack. So we had like alarms on throughout the night too. So
Jesus.
Like 1 a.m., 5 a.m., 9. Walking her dog too, and you know what, like, and like changing her like bandage for her and stuff. And there were a few instances where like she got so dizzy that she almost passed out, and those were kind of worrisome. But like I went into the weekend really nervous. I was like, man, I hope I do a good job, because I've never taken care of somebody after surgery before. And I just like went into it wanting to do my best. I had a friend whose mom had a similar surgery, so I asked him some questions to see what to expect. Like, they're not gonna be able to lift anything at all, so you basically have to do everything for them, all of that stuff. And I was a little nervous. I was like, I hope I do a good job. And you know me, I'm trying to get like an A+ up in here. But she did this one thing that was funny. She's known me since I was 17 years old, and we've like worked together in a community before too, so we know each other really well. And I like to pride myself in like knowing what she's thinking without her having to say it, but she also know what I'm thinking without me having to say it.
Yeah.
And at one point I made her dinner, and I was like, this is on some gourmet shit, right? Like, this is pretty good cooking and stuff. She was like, yeah, you know what, your bedside and your nurturing skills, like A++. And I was like, you know how I know you know me well? Because when Steph had COVID, I went grocery shopping for her for meds. And I was like, can you like meds and like fruit and stuff like that? And I asked her like, oh, what would you grade my quality of fruit picking or grocery shopping for you? And she would be like, oh, it was really solid, like A+. And I'd be like, so see, like I need more than an A+. But my friend was like, oh yeah, A++. And I was like, that's right. But I think like this weekend, I loved spending time with her because we haven't spent time together in a very long time. She's been traveling so much. And then I think it's another level of friendship when you can trust your entire well-being on somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had to help her like stand, sit, lay down, get comfortable, change to shower, feed her, cook her meals, walk her dog, make sure her meds are taken, her, ice packs, and make sure she doesn't pass out, like all of these things. And I'm grateful for the experience, and I'm grateful for our friendship that like we didn't argue or fight once. And neither one of us bitched at each other for any reason whatsoever. And I think like it really grew our friendship too. And I loved doing it because 11 years ago when I was diagnosed with diabetes, she was right there next to me in the ER. And it was my first time spending the night at the hospital, and my mom couldn't make it, but she was right there beside me. She slept on the chair next to me in the hospital. So 11 years later, she has a hard time asking for help. Yeah. But I'm more than happy to do it. And I would do it for like literally any friend. Yeah, I think like this week, I know I have a lot of love for my friends, but I think this weekend really showed like how much I showed myself how much I really give a fuck about my friends. I am tired, but I'm really like, I would do it all over again. If I wasn't going to Chicago, I would still be there.
My heart is so warm.
I think it's nice to know that I can also trust myself to take care of somebody else.
Yeah.
Like now, if somebody else has a similar experience, I can have full confidence and say, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like at least I know how to do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I just love when I can think for somebody else and know that that's exactly what they wanted or needed.
This is definitely a theme. You've definitely said this in past
podcasts. Oh, well, I just love that. For sure. But like, I don't know, like this particular friend, we just go back, and like the year when we were like co-chairs for this committee, we were the dream team. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, we just fucking worked so well together and so smoothly. And like this weekend kind of reminded me of college. I think that was nice too, because you know how I'm obsessed with college. My college years. But other than that, I met up with an ex.
Oh, we going there. Alright, talk to me about that.
I'm still processing it.
Wait, you know what? I saw my ex when I picked up Noah. Maybe this will be the conversation.
Oh. I will say this. I don't want to talk about exactly what happened.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is that, remember a few episodes ago, I told you guys about that ex who like made me feel some type of way about myself and like, you know, neglecting like all that. What episode was that? 5?
Yeah.
Or something like that. The one where we had a tough conversation about her being busy.
Oh, 4 and 5, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, 5, yeah.
That was her. I saw her after 8 years.
Damn, dude, it's 8 years.
She happened to be there in NorCal the same time I was. 3 things. 1, I'm very thankful that I had this interaction with her here instead of the original plan of seeing her in New York when I go for my birthday. I'm really glad I don't have to spend any time and energy seeing her on my birthday. 2, grappling with a lot of sadness and disappointment and anger and also release. So I'm still processing it. Because it was just not the interaction that I expected to have after 8 years, but at the same time, not surprised that that's the kind of interaction that I had. 3rd, it was a gigantic check-in as to how far I've come in my self-awareness, my boundaries, and knowing my needs, and standing my ground, and understanding that I'm no longer in the place that I once was. And the interaction that I've had with her over the weekend was kind of sad in that, like, oh my god, I cannot believe that this is like something that young Jiggy not only tolerated but once thought that I had to like earn love so badly, that I was like desperate for love and acceptance from somebody who it's so hard to interact with. It is so hard for me to feel seen by her. It is so hard for me to feel safe around her. I know that now, but back then I cannot believe that I had to earn love from somebody who interacts the way that she does. I'm just like sad for young Jiggy, thinking that like that's the kind of person that I have to be with, or like that's the only kind of person that I was worthy of. Like the constant chasing, the constant earning, like this is why you should be with me, this is why I'm a great candidate, and like the proving energy. And now after this interaction, I'm like, I don't actually have to talk to her ever again. Like I kind of like released that. Like the morning after we saw each other, I sent her a text message saying like, I don't think there's any further levels of connections that we can explore here. We're capped. There's nothing else that we can talk about. There's nothing else that about you that would be about her that's like interesting to me. Nothing pulls me back. And I think that the only thing that wants me to go back is this like hopeless romantic fantasy that like one day it's all gonna work out and come together. Because I've thought about her for 8 years, like, what if? All of the what ifs. Like, the way that it ended just ended with a semicolon. And I always wondered, like, what if? Is this really the ending? It doesn't feel like it. But then now I know it's like, sometimes the closure, the ending, is when you put your foot down. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be anything. There doesn't have to be a final kiss. There doesn't have to be a goodbye hug. There doesn't need to be fucking anything. It's literally just putting your foot down, knowing your boundaries, knowing your standards, and just knowing that this, for your own growth, your boundaries and standards exist for a reason, and you just gotta put your foot down and let go. And I think that this all happened with, like, I think this was like my final release before turning 30.
Yeah.
Because I think that, oh my God, imagine holding on to a breakup for like 8 years, just wondering what if. Yeah. And then the moment finally comes and the answer is just like, what happens is like not even anything nearly close to what you thought it would be.
Yeah.
And it actually turns out to be like trash. Like when I got back to my friends after the interaction, she was like, so how was it? I was like, I had no words. I was like,
yeah.
Ugh. Like that was my reaction. She looked at me and I was like, ugh. Like I don't even know how to explain that. Like it was just so frustrating. But nonetheless, I'm turning 30, new decade, tolerating no bullshit. A conversation that I had today was like we were talking about types that we were attracted to, and I said that I think it's time for me to like unlearn my type. I need to kind of start over because my type, not saying it's directly these things, but like my type turns out to be just toxic as fuck. And it's like, how come when I talk about my type, it's always like, oh yeah, hardworking, go-getter, self-motivated, multiple businesses, passionate, driven, works out a lot, trains hard, hot, like curly hair Latina, like gotta know how to twerk, like all of this stuff. How come it's always been that? But it's never like somebody who's gentle. Somebody who can calm me down. Somebody who can help me, be helpful. Like there's a term in Korean, it's called like 도와주는. So my cousin in Korea, she knows I'm gay and she was like, you know what? I don't care who you date as long as they're like 도와줄 수 있는, which means like somebody who can help you. But it's not just, the direct translation isn't just help. It's like somebody who can like nurture you, protect you, guide you. Like almost like an embrace and a protective layer almost. It's not just like helping, it's supporting, it's encouraging, it's thoughtfulness, it's generosity, like stuff like that. Like that's what like 도와주는 means.
Yeah.
And like that, like why don't I ever say stuff like that? Like somebody who can help me. I never say somebody who can help me. I always say somebody who I can help.
Fuck that. I'm getting help now.
So I need to unlearn my type. And this is exclusive news, y'all. I think that I'm ready to start dating outside of Latinas. Breaking news!
Just imagine the news stations are like
Yes, that's exactly right. Thanks for the inspo. What if my next girlfriend was Korean? Who knows?
Who knows? I think it's great that you're like looking beyond like what you originally thought, right? Like I feel like this person was definitely the closing of a very specific chapter, like of your own process, you know? Like I feel like you have consistently talked about this person for a very long time. And so I'm just glad that you're able to get some level of closure, and also that you learned that like it doesn't have to be some big or dramatic or meaningful like thing, and endings can just be endings, you know, which are like they're just tough. Like I think endings are always really difficult, especially if you're somebody who loves love, you know, like, and I think there was like a lot of love you had for this person, like at some point, you know.
Oh my god, it's all coming back to me and I'm pissed again. I'm fucking pissed again. The heartbreak. The heartbreak. The longing that wasn't met and was so disappointed is that the way that she talked to me and the things that she would talk about, or the things that she was surprised that I remembered, she talked to me as if I'm just anybody. Like, it's as if like, not like what we had, but like the conversations that we shared, or the experience that we had together, or whatever sacred moments that we had together, it's as if it wasn't important to her, or she didn't want to make it a big deal because she was just so in denial back then.
Yeah.
Or she was too blacked out to remember.
Yeah.
But she was talking to me as if I hadn't known her 8 years ago. She shared one of her most vulnerable moments with me before. Like, she just talked to me as if I'm just like fucking anybody. And it's one of those questions, it's one of those situations where it's like, man, was it not as important to you as it was for me? Was it not as special for you as it was for me? Then it's like this whole, like, what does that say about me? Does that make me a loser? Does that mean that I was a hopeless romantic? Does it mean that I was over dramatizing everything? Like, was what we had really not that special? Do other people really think that love isn't that special? Like, all this fucking shit. Yeah, that's just one layer of many impact that she had, that I experienced over the... It was seriously like... I was like really looking at her like, who do you think you're talking to? Like, it's me.
Yeah.
Like... do you not remember the things we used to talk about? Like,
yeah.
What is this? Like, this isn't even... Does this feel deep to you? Is this like what a deep conversation feels like to you? Because to me, it's like very... not landing. It's like...
Yeah.
God, I have literally never had such a frustrating... It's like... God, if I told you what happened, you would get so angry. You would be like, all of the red flags, everything against RBTL. You know what the interaction is like? It's like somebody you wouldn't even let take the course.
Oh no.
Oh.
That already gives me like... That already gets me
Steph,
angry, and I don't have the details yet.
Like... Oh my God.
I'm upset for
you. I was texting you. I was like, I can't stand this interaction. Like, I felt like I was drowning. I was like shocked in all of the ways. I'm just like, I cannot believe that once upon a time I thought this was a deep connection.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that once upon a time I was so fascinated by this person, so mesmerized by this person, and thought this person was so interesting.
Yeah.
I cannot believe... Bitch, I'm gonna tell you everything that happened after this. You won't believe it. You won't believe the things that she said. Bro.
I really feel like this is just a reflection of, like, how much closer to, like, how much better you know yourself, and, like, how much closer to, like, what you're truly, like, looking for is. Like, for sure, when you're younger, those are like reflections of like attachment styles and things that like you grew up with.
I think I was so lost.
Yeah. I mean, there's always so much going on.
I mean, granted, at that time I was younger, I was in college, my mom had died, whatever. She said something very interesting to me. She said, you know, it was so hard for me to feel connected to you back then. And I'm like, how the fuck is that? I used to lead all of any level of vulnerability, because she has a hard time experiencing vulnerability. Like, I felt like I had to pull things out of her.
Yeah.
But here she is telling me that, like, it was really hard for her to connect with me. And I was like, that's interesting. How's that? Like, what was that experience like for you? And she said, it's because I was so intense. And I said, intense about what? And she's like, everything. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I get it. I really was. I was intense about everything. Yeah. I lost my home to fire, became homeless, and my mom died. And I was diagnosed with a chronic illness. Yeah, I take everything very seriously.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, okay, that's understandable. I did take everything extremely seriously. I was intense as fuck about everything. But for somebody like her, as an overachiever as she is, for somebody like her to tell me that I was too intense, it's like, one, how intense was I really? But two, it's like, damn, but what effort did you ever really put in for vulnerability to connect with me in the first place? Mm-hmm. Like, what effort did you actually put in to feel connected to me in the first place, other than drinking alcohol? Mm-hmm. I should tell you stuff on air right now and then just bleep everything out and just for your
for me to feel complete
reaction. Yeah. Oh my god!
You just gotta like zip by the parts that you talk about it and then like me give the reaction and then zip by.
Okay, I'll give you one example.
Oh no.
That's one.
She really has it backward.
I said.
Wait, what?
That's how she says goodbye.
That's...
I don't know. Like, if this was a date, I would never go on it again. And that's when, like, I went home and I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And I was like, 8 years. Why did I want to see her so badly? Yeah. And then now I see her and I'm just like, do I ever actually want to, like, what is the point of talking to her ever again? And it's like, do I feel safe around this person? Mm. And I started to think about you and the girls, and I was like, she does nowhere close to making me feel that way. Yeah. And I think that's, like, I remember last episode when I said that Kehlani reminds me of soup, and the question is, does this person make you feel like soup? And it's like, no, it's not soup. It's... It's not soup.
It's that, like, one thing on the menu that they say is the special. And, like, it's supposed to taste really good, but then
but why is it
really
the special?
Bad, you know?
Yeah.
It just looks good. Doesn't mean it tastes good.
On paper, this woman is perfect. On paper, she's everything I would want. She's successful, multiple business, investments, driven, self-motivated, talented, hot. I was like, on paper, she's everything that I want. And then my friend, who I was taking care of, she's like, fuck that paper. She's like, you need a brand new paper, because that paper sucks. Yeah. I need to let go of this notion that she's perfect on paper. She's not perfect, and there's no paper. I need to get rid of that paper. That, like, cannot be the standard whatsoever. Yeah. So that's why I need to unlearn my type and start over. How long have I been talking about her? Because for 49 minutes I've been talking about her. I am so sorry. She's like not worthy of that time at all. No, I'm gonna fast forward all of this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was literally like so painful, so disappointing, so sad for young Jiggy that she thought that was special. Like it's like no wonder you didn't feel important. Yeah. No wonder you didn't feel loved. Yeah. How could I have ever blamed myself as if I wasn't enough? Mm. How did I ever convince myself that I wasn't worthy? That there was something wrong with me? That I did something wrong? I'm sure many of you can relate. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
No, you don't.
3 words. Fuck that hoe. Whoever this person in your life is in your life, fuck that hoe. Let him go. Yeah. 3 words and 3 words. Fuck that hoe and let them go. That's the motto. It's like it's like a
that should be the title.
Yeah. It's like a cheer.
Fuck that.
Fuck that hoe and let them go. Fuck that hoe and let them go. Yeah. Did you know? When you cheer, it always has to be fist pointing that way.
Oh.
That should be the thumbnail. Not Noah just staring at me like, what the fuck are you
doing? What the hell are you guys doing? I agree with your friend that you're taking care of. I think there's a lot to unlearn, and I think I just feel very protective of like younger Jiggy, and I also feel very like happy that you were in a place that you could see that. It's like I feel like for a lot of people they may still be in it and not be able to see that. You know what I mean? So I feel like this like freedom that you are essentially, this is like sort of like liberation from this like experience, and this freedom that you have now going into your 30s, like into the next decade, is like, wow, I really see what I deserve. I really see like what I really need, you know, and it's not this person. And like that's something that you can like now like like fucking RIP, like rest in peace, like for that like chapter. And like I think like when I look back, it's like I just feel so much for young Jiggy. It's like she didn't know, you know, she was doing her best, like she was really trying, and like what she saw was what she saw, you know. And at the same time, it's not her fault like that she didn't know. It wasn't her fault that like she like did what she could with what she knew, you know. And so I feel like it's just like, well, I give like her like a hug, you know. Just like, it's just like she really did do her best, you know. You really did. Yeah. And like you really tried, and you gave all the love that you could, you know. And like sure, you're intense, sure there's like so many other factors, but at the same time I know, like I trust that she did her best at that time. And so like there's like a sense of also like I think forgiveness too that I feel like is warranted for her, you know, like not so much like, oh, like she should have known this or this, but so much more like giving her the compassion that like she needed at the time, you know. I feel like that's because it will never be received from this person, you know. And that's like the painful like heartbreak that like so many of us experience, is like we want to be seen by this person, and like there's a point where like we have to decide, we have to just acknowledge like we'll never be, right? But we can ourselves like acknowledge ourselves in the way that we couldn't be by that person. Yeah. And so I'm just sitting with a lot of that like tenderness for like what she experienced, and also just like so glad that you're in a different place now. Like you can discern that, and you can come back and tell me like, dude, this bitch was not it. And I'm over here like I fucking feel the pain of like, you know, Jiggy, and I also feel the like, fuck yeah, like because you deserve way fucking more than that, you know. And like you deserve somebody who's gentle, who's like caring, who's loving. And I feel like also it's not your fault either that your like paper consisted of these things, because I feel like a lot of society tells us that's what we should like want, right? I feel like even in my relationship with Kato, I realized like for me safety is the most important thing. I always thought it was just like some hot dude that's super ambitious. Same thing, right? Like just well, like
Kato is hot and ambitious.
No, he is. But the first thing he is like he makes me feel safe, you know, and that unlocks everything. Like when you feel safe, when you know someone is always gonna be in your corner, when you know you can always come home, things change for you. You operate differently. You're not like this like, oh, I gotta like earn something. It's like, no, you just are who you are, and I love you for who you are, and like because you have that, like something else unlocks for you, right? But like we chase those other things because we feel like that's what we think we need, when in reality I feel like all the things that you're learning is just gonna bring you to the right person, you know.
Wow, I think shit, like now that I'm thinking about going into my 30-year-old self.
Yeah.
Is my birthday next week?
Yes.
My birthday's next week, bitch. Wow. In the Bible they talk about pruning, and pruning is like when you prune a plant or rose or whatever plant, whatever, it like it's painful to cut, but it's necessary for growth. So the Bible talks about pruning a lot, and I think this entire fucking year was a lot of pruning, whether it's grieving a loss or you know ending me working somewhere, or mending and ending friendships and relationships. Like everything. I'm going into 30s with like a lot more clarity and a lot of ease and peace, a lot of weightlessness. I think this is like the lightest I've ever felt in my fucking life. I don't consider myself like suffering anymore.
Wow.
Not like suffering as in like shit's happening to me and all the experiences. That's like that happens to me all the time. Like, but I'm saying like I'm at a point where even if shit is happening, I'll still be at peace on the inside. Yeah. Like internal struggle and suffering. Like I don't things don't feel heavy anymore. And clarity, certainty, alignment. I think that basically almost everything in my life is in alignment. And nothing is like in question anymore. Yeah. Because I've just like had to go through so many transitions this year too, and including environment, and with like, the girls coming into our lives, and I'm just like, this is the standard now. Like this is the standard of friendship, the conversations that I'm about to have, the relationship maybe in the partnership in the future I'm about to have. Like whatever it is, this is the new standard. Just the standard of friendship, conversations, interactions, collaborations, everything. This is the standard, and I'm pretty fucking confident in this standard, and I'm excited for 30. I can't even believe I'm fucking at my life at this point where I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm no longer suffering. I can't believe I'm fucking saying this right now, but I'm no longer suffering. Like I might be struggling a little bit in certain areas and like still grieving and stuff and whatever, but I'm not like suffering. Yeah. And you know why that is? I truly believe I was baptized spiritually at the Kehlani concert. Since then, I've been just fucking la-di-da. Like... Yeah. Like... Truly, like... Wow. Like, I can be upset, I can be disappointed, but I'm not, like... It's, like, something's off of me, and I don't... Maybe it's the devil off of me, but, like, whatever it is, it's off of me. Yeah. Like, I'm sad and I'm disappointed, but I'm not, like, drowning in hell. Yeah.
You definitely have felt different since Kehlani, though. Like, for sure. Yeah. And I think the discernment between, like, the still struggling versus, like, suffering is, like...
Kehlani shows, man, there's spiritual experiences.
Yeah. I think also, like, this year, like, it's kind of wild to think about, when I think about your timeline, right? Like, I remember last year, like, you saying, like, all you really want is peace. No. All you really want is peace. And, like, too. You're just like... Jesus Christ, I just need to fucking move because I need some peace. Yeah. And, like, it's crazy, like, what can happen when you're just, like, in a new spot. You have new, like, these things are not quantitative. And yet these are the things that I think people are searching for that they don't even know they're searching for. Mm-hmm. You know? I feel like being surrounded by, like, good people, like, you just don't know it until you are. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you didn't know, like, coming to K-Town, you're just like, yeah, I'm searching for, like, these girls, like, the girls that come into your life, right? You just, like, came here, arrived, felt it, and we're just like, holy shit, that's, like, that is it, you know? And, like, I felt the same way. And I feel like these are things that money can also never buy.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, when I think about this person that you saw, I was just like, sure, you have tons of businesses, but, like, that can't buy the rest, that can't buy, like, the peacefulness, that can't buy the depth of relationships, that can't buy this stuff. Like, the stuff that you have is, like, stuff that, like, I think people are searching for that may never actually ever find it. You know? Because I think it also takes a certain level of inner work to be able to get to that point with people and to, like, feel this in relationship, you know? Yeah. And I feel like the work that you have been doing, like, the the fruits of your labor are things that are like super priceless, you know? So just a thought, because I think there's like a lot to be like a lot of credit to be given to like what you have been able to like move through in the past year. And like I'm just like excited because I think there's like what is life after this? What is life without the suffering?
Oh shit.
What is life like when like
oh shit.
Yeah, like you know, like what does that look like? And I think that's it's like what does it look like to play with that? Like to play with like what that could possibly be, because I think there's so much like there.
If I got like, that much done when I was suffering, watch out, bitches. I'm weightless now. I'm lighter now. I'm faster. I'm stronger. I work harder. Did you see that audio reel? It's funny. Better quality, better pizza. I'm excited for whatever next like relationship I get into. Not saying that it's about to be this. I do not want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But like whatever the next relationship is going to be, I'm like so curious, so excited, and nervous to see who it's gonna be with and how it's gonna be, because it's gonna be so extremely new to me, because it's gonna be so different. It's gonna be peace. What the fuck is that like? Peace in a relationship, coming home to peace. What the fuck is that like? Not having trust issues. What is that? Oh, here's another thing that I want to add. We were talking. My friends and I were talking about love languages today, and I was talking about how like gift giving, me receiving gifts is like last of my love languages, but I wonder if that's because I haven't experienced it enough. And you know what I'm manifesting in my next relationship is like, you know what, I'm ready to receive gifts. Like I'm ready for some chick to buy me gifts.
Yes,
like
that's
like,
the spirit. That's the spirit.
Give me, I'm not materialistic at all, but you know what, like give me a Louis Vuitton duffel bag. Fuck yeah, I want that. Yeah, buy me Kehlani tickets. Yeah, buy me sneakers. Yes, buy me Timbs. Yes, buy me the exclusive Timbs in the exclusive color from Culture Kings. Yes, buy me those Timbs that are only available at Culture Kings.
It looks like this.
In this color. Yes, do it.
Plus 1,000. Like I was never a gift person either. But then like once Kato started buying me, so I was like,
Kato loves buying bitches.
Yeah. I was like, wait, this is actually kind of nice.
I mean, homie got money, so by all means, but he's a Libra. He's quick. He picks up on the little things and then does it. A bottle, got it. Did it right away.
Yeah.
Like, to some people, it might be just a water bottle that got held back in the airport, but it's I don't consider little things. I think that these little details are actually the bigger deal.
Yeah.
But, like, he just did it. Yeah. But now it's special, too, because, I mean, like, R.I.P. bottle, because that was a legendary bottle.
That really was.
But now it's special because Kato got it for me.
Yeah.
It's a new chapter.
It really
Same
is.
color, but... You really be loving this color. Look around.
I do. I just don't look good in it. That's why I carry it, because like I don't look good in this color. I look
Watch
good.
her wedding dress be that color. Like
no,
her bridesmaids are gonna wear that color.
My bridesmaids maybe, but like not me. Actually,
watch like Rosalie kill that color.
That's actually a really good idea.
Are we gonna talk about wedding dresses now? Because I'm so in it.
Well, I saw my ex on Saturday. Yeah.
New character.
Well, we've talked about him before, but it was really interesting, like, because you were like seeing your ex on Friday, right? Yeah, I saw
Thursday.
I saw him on Saturday when I was picking up Noah, because we co-parent Noah. But it was a very like it's been interesting, like when you continue to have a relationship with your ex, and like the only reason why we I think if we didn't have Noah, I would have likely just cut it off like completely. I'm not a big fan of like let's continue being in this gray area. But I think something that I am learning from him in particular is like being in the gray area doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think he's been incredible at like being a co-partner and like taking care of Noah. Like we're both like on the same page like about that. And it was really nice because like Kato actually hung out with him twice like in the last once or twice in the last like week, like when he was here 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. And so like I know like they're chill, but I think for me it's a little bit more complex. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like more complex, but I think like I just have a lot of history like with him, and so like I get a little bit of anxiety whenever I meet up like to get know, even though like every single time it's been like very cordial and like really chill, actually really nice. But last year he actually put me on his like health insurance like for an additional year, even though he didn't have to do that.
Right.
And that was actually during the time that I had the vertigo experience and like went to urgent care. So there was actually a bill that came through urgent care that he essentially just like covered for me at the time, because like he just didn't want me to like have to deal with it. But we did agree that like because last time when he came back from China, I was like, hey, like he's like, hey, there's a bill that came in, like maybe we can talk about like, you know, like payments and stuff. And so I brought it up this time because I was like, hey, like I would like to just, you know, clear it out, and we hadn't talked in a while. I got there and like he just told me like I would like to talk to you about this in person. So we meet up, like it's really nice. It's always really nice to see him, because like I think I like don't often think about him like when I'm in my like day-to-day, but like when I see him I just like remember so many things. But it was also just like I just like remember like how much fun we had, because it's always joking and like I'm joking back, and I'm just like it just reminds me like there was like so much love despite it being very difficult, you know. And I'm very lucky to be in a place where I can have this like with an ex, versus like a lot of people like don't have that opportunity. And I think it looks different for everyone, right? And I think the only reason why I'm sharing this is because I think there are things that can glow up in flames, and there are things that also like continue to like evolve and prosper in a different way. And I'm very lucky that I am able to have that. But yeah, so when we were chatting, he just like he shared with me like, you know, I know that there was like a bill that I like took care of, and I know you want to pay me back, but I just want you to know that I'm going to cover it. And the reason why I'm covering it is because there was a time when you pulled me out of a financial situation that like I was really struggling through. Like it was at the beginning of our like relationship, and he's like, I have been thinking a lot about that, and like the least that I can do is to just, you know, support you in this way, like put that money towards your business, put that money towards like food, like whatever it is that you want. I'm just fucking getting emotional thinking about it. But it's just like it, like I think for me it was like a huge relief, because it's like, you know, it's like 4-figure bill, like who wants to front 4 figures? And just thinking about how like, because I've forgotten that, like I like did that out of my own like heart and wanting to support him, and I think just feeling that like come back to me was just like a very like overwhelming and like emotional experience. But I left just feeling like, wow, like you can still like love and care for somebody from afar, you know. And like just because something ends doesn't mean it was like horrific. That doesn't take away like all the things that did happen that like, you know, didn't work out, but they can coexist. And I think I've just never seen something coexist in that way, that like it's like very like cordial, and you know, it's very workable, and like these two people, like me and him, are still on the same page. Like we're still rooting for each other regardless, and there's still a lot of love and care, and at the same time it's just not what like at the end of the day wasn't what we needed from each other. But just being able to receive that back, and it was like really hard, because I was like, there's the part of me that's just like, no, like you can't take that, because like I grew up like in an environment where like I don't, you know, we don't take things that we like, we owe people things when we receive things. So that's a story that I'm like working through. Like it's like, oh, do I like I owe him something now, you know? But it's like, no, like you can just receive this and just take it as it is, because there was a lot that you like, you're always exchanging like things, and this is just purely an exchange. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. You don't have to make meaning out of it. Like you can just accept that like this was something that is just being given to you, you know. And so like there is a lot of like there's a lot there, but I was just like, wow, like this was not what I was expecting, like from the conversation, but it was just very meaningful, I think, to receive that. It just told me that like things can end, and it can be painful, and it can be hard, and it can still evolve. And that's like the piece that I was just like, oh shit, like I've never seen that before. And so like just sharing that, because I think like we often think that endings have to be horrific, but it's like what you said earlier, like it can end however which way you want it to end. It doesn't have to be like a big kiss. It doesn't have to be anything. Like it could also be like a boundary, like, and which is like what we had to work through too, but it can also like continue strangely, like for me at least, because we have Noah to like take care of, like it continues to evolve in a different form like every time that I see him. And I'm just like really grateful for that and what he has been, because he's supported me through and through, like in just in his own form. So yeah, so I thought that was very special.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two very different interactions of an interaction we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And the outcome being extremely freaking different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really glad that you guys are having a rather peaceful, whatever this new journey is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, like, my ex that I share my dog with, we're actually gonna see each other next month.
Oh, yeah.
I'm, like, finally ready to see her and the dog.
Yeah.
And can you not make that noise while we're... Hey.
When you're talking about your dog?
Noah, stop licking yourself. I don't want that sound in this podcast. Noah, stop it. That particular ex and I think there's a different warmth to when exes understand and still support each other, and like it's completely innocent. Yeah. But there's still that level of like understanding and support and encouragement and like friendship, but in a different way, but like knowing that you shared a lot of memories together, and it's still a lot of love. It's just love. It's and definitely a special kind of nice, warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, it's not binary, I think, is the thing that I'm trying to get at, like with people, because we often think it's black and white. Like I've mentioned this in the podcast before. You fuck with me, goodbye therapist, you know, like, and so it's like that kind of
the metal and the sword.
Cut
it off.
Cut. So I'm trying to like not cut and be gentle with the cut, I guess.
The onion. The onion comes back.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Wow, endings are so hard and closures are so hard, and whatever manifests afterwards is like truly in our control. Yeah. Do both people work on themselves and nurture the relationship together that continues, or do you set a boundary and let that shit go? Yeah. Life.
Circle of life right there.
Wow. Well, there you go. This is what makes this podcast so dope. You always get two different experiences. Yeah. What's your takeaway?
What's my takeaway? I mean, I think it's about endings. Like, they can be... Well, I like to say that they are, like, co-created. Like, I think there's always, like, two energies, like, working with each other when there's an ending. But I think it's, like, what does it look like to take ownership of what you need in that ending, right? And like, I think that most oftentimes we feel like it's like out of our control. I'm not saying like you're in control of it, but I think you can own parts of it. Like, you can take a stance, like you sent the text saying like, hey, I think this is it, right? And that's your way of like letting that. And I don't think it necessarily, when we think about endings, needs to be verbalize. For some people, they feel like, oh, I gotta say it. I was like, no, you don't gotta say it, but you can at least set the intention. If you don't want to verbalize it, you can at least be like, I'm going to let go of this person. The intention I'm setting with this relationship is I no longer want to like tolerate any more conversations with this person, right? It doesn't have to be verbalized. Like, I love that you did that because it made that clear to her. But I think at the minimum, it's like, what does it look like to own how you want to have like your own sense of closure, and endings, and like endings also, there are endings and then there's like the evolution of what it can be too, because like with me and my ex, it's like there was an ending of some chapter, but now it's like shifted into something else.
I have 2 takeaways.
Yeah.
One is that if you have a gut feeling about something, somebody, or an interaction, you don't have to try to like justify it. You just trust your gut. Just if something is not landing well with you, if you feel as though somebody's crossing your boundaries, just trust that. Trust that, and voice it or not, just trust that. You don't have to make excuses for the other person. If it didn't land with you, it didn't land with you, period. Second is that I am so thankful for my friends. And I'm very excited to go into this new age single. And not saying that single as in like I'm a hoe, but single as in like, man, opportunities are endless and connections and exploration is endless. And like, I'm just thankful for my friends for setting the tone and setting the standard for just who are like, what do quality people look like in my life? And I am filled with that. Like, my roster of friends is like very superb, and I'm very A++, and I'm very thankful for my friends. Hopefully my next partner is not toxic, and
I don't think they'll be with the people you're around. I don't think. If you brought somebody around that smelled a certain way, I would tell you that. Like, you have different friends that are also like they're aware of what you're looking for. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you have to take the advice, but like at least they'll let you know.
My friends aren't the most like direct people, so I'm actually I'd be surprised if any of y'all came up to me and was like, "Yo, Jiggy, that chick you're with, I'd be highly surprised and impressed if you did that. I'm encouraging you to do that, but I'd be just surprised, that's all.
Yeah.
But hopefully I trust myself that I can pick the right one.
I think you will. Like, I think there's like, I feel like with every single I think back to like episode 4, right? Which is like when we were first talking about it. Isn't that wild? It was only 4 weeks ago when we like actually recorded that. Because this is like what, episode 8, right?
Yeah.
That means 4 weeks ago we recorded the love and relationship one.
No, we recorded that one before I left for Korea.
Oh.
So it was months ago.
That's actually still crazy that it was
so much can happen.
Ago, like that the change in like where you were then and where you are now in terms of your resolve and like your like commitment to looking for something that like is actually going to nurture you in the way that you need is completely different. I feel like that was like the start of the conversation, and this is just like every week you just become more and more confident in like what it is that you're searching for. I feel like the universe is sending you signs of like things that you should not like be down for and things that you are.
Sometimes God gives you exactly what you want so that you can see for yourself that it's not right for you.
Yeah, basically. That's I actually think that was a delivery for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a sermon over the weekend that said, be careful what you pray for, because you're going to get exactly what lesson is required of that. So when you pray for like patience, you're going to get shit that tests your patience.
Yeah.
So you can no longer be like, what the fuck, God? Like, what the fuck is this? It's so frustrating. It's like, you literally pray for this.
Yeah.
God's like...
What do you expect? You asked for it.
Yeah. It's like, God, give me strength. It's like, okay. God, I feel so weak. Because you want to be stronger. Because you want to be stronger. What the fuck is this podcast about?
Oh,
what was this about?
It's about
closure.
Okay. Closure, ending.
Did y'all get that? Was that clear?
Send it in the video ask.
Ooh, video ask. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that was very clear. And like ex relationships as well, I think is a very interesting topic.
Yeah. And Noah's here. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. Okay.
That's ASMR right there. I think it caught on the